if I'm able to make one more video, I'm gonna be really happy because I've been making so many videos, haven't uploaded any of them yet. And yeah, let's get started. Like I was saying, like if you watch my past video, I'm showing you where I came from as a gamer. So if you watch my list or anything, you can tell what kind of games I'm looking for, why I'm interested in some of these games, and why some of these games that so many people say is so bad. I can see the good in them, you know. Okay, from where I left off, I started thrift shopping games. I finally was able to afford games. I finally built up my collection. Because at this time, I was actually generously like looking forward to collecting, because no one was messing up my games no more. No one was stealing my games anymore, and like I was the only kid left in the house, so I was able to afford these kind of things. So I had a Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox. Well, I'm just saying where I left off from the last video. So if you haven't watched the last videos, go back and watch them if you want to. If not, you might be a little late. I just want to get my story out there because I just kind of like to talk about it. So Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Original, PS2. I slowly started collecting for the PS1. And PS3, PS4, PSP, PS Vita, 3DS, Wii, DS. Okay, sorry if you haven't watched my videos. My brain's not that good working sometimes. And where was I left off? I think I already said PSP, but I'm not sure. 3DS, DS, Wii, Wii U, GameCube. I technically still don't have it. It's too low to use flash, and my thing got disconnected. I'm gonna try to do that before it messes up. Lost count. Okay, I had an Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox, PS2, PS1, PS2, well, PS3, PS4, PSP, PS Vita, 3DS, DS. I was collecting for the Game Boy Advance, even though I didn't have one yet. I had a DS. Wii U, and in GameCube, even though I didn't have a GameCube system yet. I had a Wii that I found at a thrift shop. But I'm building up my collection. I've had a good collection so far. I was really proud. I didn't have much. I don't think I had much. I think I had a good bit of games. But I still had enough storage space on my little bitty shelves to be able to store them all at the time. So, you know, I still had room. But my next consoles, I had all the main consoles. Next consoles I was looking to get into, I slowly started collecting more for the Game Boy Advance. Like, I had some games for it, but I didn't have a whole lot of games for it. I barely had any games for the thing. I slowly started getting every game for it that I found that was cheap. Every game for the DS that I found was cheap. Like, if I was curious about a game, I'd like to get box games if I could. But since I was little and I was so used to having so little games, I love having so many games. So if I seen a game, like if I had a few bucks extra, and if I seen a game that looked interesting for like $1 or something, I'll buy it. And if I like it enough, I'll look for a copy with a case, you know. That's how I was. And I was buying all these old games that I used to play. And even when it came down to games like I got NCAA, I got this Street, whatever it's called, because I had that on my original Wii when I found out they can play GameCube games. Because technically I didn't know it was called a GameCube back then. All I knew was it could play these things, and some lady gave me a couple games. And I remember I got Spider-Man 3, and I got a basketball game with those free games. But point is, I was slowly buying all these new games. I had all these different games. And I wanted to get into the older games. Because since I could barely afford any of the games when I was little, I was so restricted when I was little, I'm guessing I just wanted to expand as much as I could. So I wanted to get some of the retro games. It might have been a few years later. It probably was like a year or two later. I want to get retro games. By the way, these are spread, like this isn't all like in a year or two. This is in a course of maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 years, maybe even more of me being a game collector. So this isn't all immediate. But I wanted to get into older ones because I wasn't really that curious in them. I watched all these, I wasn't all curious in these games personally. I just seen all these people making videos about them. And I wanted to be able to go into the game store and be able to look at every section in that store. That's my dream. You know, that was my dream at the time. And so my next console, I didn't even plan on getting it. I got paid for a job, and I was going thrift shopping for some games. I did my usual thing. There's a thrift shop by the game store. I go there first, see if I can find anything cheap, and then I go to the game store. And I was looking through their games, and I found Dr. Mario, and I found some Tom and Jerry game. It's not the best game, and really is not a console seller, but for me it was. And I remember, I think I also got that day, I got Frogger for the Sega Genesis, because I also had one of those little plug and play things, but I didn't think it worked on there, because I remember I got a game before. I got like some Star Wars game. It didn't work, so I didn't get it intentionally for that. I just kind of had it, and when I got home, I plugged it in there, and it turned out it worked. But in that day when I got the Dr. Mario and everything, I said, "Fuck it." I had like a good bit of money left over that day, and that's the only games I found at thrift shop I seen that I wanted, and I wanted to buy it. I remember I was so excited. I got so excited so fast because I was gonna be able to get this game system that you see my toes, but I was gonna be able to get this game system and be like the people on YouTube, you know. And I didn't get these for YouTube. Just later, I slowly started making videos. But I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be able to see all these hidden gems and be able to find them. Cause I was finding all these hidden gems on older consoles, and that's my dream. So I did like older games. I played them on emulators, so I wasn't like fresh into it. But that day I got me a Game Boy Color. They didn't have any good versions. Like they only had one Game Boy Color. I do plan to upgrade it eventually because not the color I want. But that's the one I got, and I was so excited. I was collecting for that. I remember eventually, I think that day or maybe a week or so later, my mom, like I told you, my mom liked to see me happy. I'm the only kid now. I was like 15, so I wasn't old enough to work yet. So I was still doing odd jobs. And I was still doing odd jobs every once in a while when she found someone that would let us do them. But she gave me $20, and I got as many games as I could. I got Conkers, the Game Boy one, because people said so many good things about the N64 one, because I was looking forward to getting one. Like, slowly, I was planning on getting my thrift shops and stuff, but, you know, as things work out. But, like I was saying, I got me a Game Boy Color, and that was so cool. And then I slowly started looking into it. I wanted to get more than just the Game Boy Color. But that was my first retro console. And I started looking into it. The best option I could see was getting Retron 5, because it seemed so easy. It hooked up with HDMI. And, you know, it seemed really easy to hook up. And it had all the consoles in one. So, for my birthday, I got a Retron 5. I went to my hometown where games were a little bit cheaper. I got a whole bunch of controllers for it and everything. And I had some games I was already collecting for it. I got a whole bunch of games. Well, not a whole bunch. Maybe enough to start off with. And I got me a Retron 5 when I got back home. And I was so excited for it. It was so cool. The coolest thing ever. Because I was able to play all these games I've seen online. Like, all these people that are playing these games, and it feels so different. I remember my aunt had a Nintendo, and I actually talked to her about this, and she she was cute. Like, the only game console she ever wanted to talk to me about. Usually she gets annoyed when I talk about games. But I got me that. I started getting more retro games, and it was so cool. I was finally the retro collector I wanted to be. I barely had any games for it, but in my mind, I had so many, you know. I didn't have any good games. I had Mario. The best game I had was Mario Duck Hunt. Yeah. But, that was cool. So I was slowly thinking. And, I slowly started to build up my collection like that. I slowly started to collect controllers for my PS2. I started collecting anything I could find that was weird for it, you know, like... Oh, by the way, I forgot, I brought it over to mention. This is my GameCube controller I had. I remember I got it because this is one I use on my Wii to play some games. Yeah, I just want to say. I remember I got the GameStop branded one. I remember they were okay. I got it now, but the Yobo one sucked. But I started getting all these old games. It was so cool because the Retron 5 was a really good console. Eventually, I had to replace it because eventually it broke on me, sadly. But yeah, like I was saying. And I started getting this big game collection like I dreamt of, even though I was barely playing any of the games. Like, all these games, like, for example, like I was saying, Percy Jackson, I got this recently for $1. Games on the PSP, I got SmackDown vs. Raw 2010, $1.95. A whole bunch of games, $1.95 or $5. I never spent over $10 on a game. And it was so amazing to find all these cheap games that are really good, you know, like, and buying cheap games is a good, like, buying cheap games is a reason to collect, you know, because, like, even if that's the reason I don't play any games that, like, there's a lot of games I haven't played, because if it doesn't connect with me, and if I don't have fun playing it immediately, I'm going to wait on it, I'm going to try it again later. But I had the retro console, and eventually, I even, like, I'm getting into my final chapters. I even got I even started getting I'm trying to remember. I slowly ordered Famicom games from Japan. You know, like, I ordered a couple of Famicom games. Now I'm ordering them a lot more often. I'm ordering almost every day now, because that's what I'm collecting mainly nowadays. But, and then I got paid again for another job. And I remember I actually walked up to the store. Either that or someone gave me money for it. Somehow I got it. I got me an N64, which is my lowest rating game console, personally, just because I don't have that many games for it. I remember I went to my hometown. I got a couple games for it. And, yeah, I got me a couple cheap games. I got Castlevania is like my best game for it. Castlevania 64. And then I had almost every game console in my mind, because the Retron 5, I'm considering that all the game consoles it played. And it felt so cool. I was a retro game collector. And then Switcher Now actually exists this month, because I'm trying to speed it up, because it's the latest one I can think about. The Nintendo Switch came out like last year, and I wasn't able to afford it, but I wanted to get it because I was really interested in it. Because I haven't been a huge Nintendo fan, because their games are really expensive, and I grew up on it, so I played a little bit too much Mario. But Zelda looked really good. Really good. So I really want to play whatever I could. Like, at first I wasn't interested, but I slowly started to build interest. Like, today's my birthday, I was thinking about what I wanted. And that's what I wanted. And the cool thing about the Nintendo Switch coming out is all these Wii U games I couldn't afford when I first got it started to get it really cheap. And I built all these game collections. Sorry, these seem so low. I just like talking, and why not upload it? So I was building all these game collections. I had like 40 PS2 games, 40 PSP games, around 40 for every console. I have a lot of games. Around 300 total games. Maybe even 400. I haven't counted in a while. I think last time I counted, I was like at 350 or maybe 450. And it's so cool having all these old games. I have like maybe 10 games for my N64 now. I have like 17 PS2 games. I have a lot of games. And I was slowly starting to build game collection, because all these PS4 games started getting cheaper. And even Resident Evil 4, my favorite game of all time, came to the PS4. So I didn't have to play it like this anymore. This is my own way to play it before. And it came there, I bought it. And I was able to afford all these games I was never able to afford when I was a kid. And it's weird. I'm going to end this video. I'm going to make another one. Please like and subscribe. See you guys later.